Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Jess. Today I'm here with a special guest and I'll be interviewing her about what it's like to be an adoptive parent. And before we even begin, would you like to introduce yourself and just describe how you even found out that adoption was an option for you?
Okay, my name is Karen Wright. I live in Montreal and I'm the mother of 7 children that I've adopted from China, me and my husband. Our first adoption of Kennedy was back in 1996. She was 5.5 months old. Came to us a healthy little baby, and actually I adopted my first 2 children as a single mom. And then after, I was kidding around, I say I adopted my husband. And then we continued our family along that road. Mm-hmm. We thought it was a wonderful experience. Our kids are amazing. We're so happy to have them in our lives. And so we said, let's go. And we had 2 little girls by that time. So we adopted our first boy. Okay. And it was very difficult. They said to get a boy, which it wasn't. We just asked and we got a boy. Oh. So today we have 5 girls and we have 2 boys.
Alrighty, so I'll, dive into the first question.
Sure.
Would you be comfortable explaining why you decided to adopt instead of having your own biological children?
Sure. I was 33 at the time that I was thinking about, adoption and whatever. I was single. Okay. And China was open to single people adopting, so that was wonderful. It was my sister and my brother-in-law who wanted to adopt, and we've always thought about adoption. Even as we were growing up, we said we'd like to adopt a child because there's so many kids that don't have families. Okay. And why have more when there's so many there, everywhere that are waiting. Anyway, so she said, would you want to come with me to the information session? So I said, yeah, sure. So we went and we sat there and we got all the information. And when I left there, I signed the paperwork. Mm-hmm. That's how I started my adoption journey. Okay. I went, like I said, we always had we've talked about that since we were little kids. And then even as we got older, I still said that's still something that I want to, look into because I had no idea really what was involved. And we went, and then, like I said, that day I signed the papers and away I went. And 6 months later, I had Kennedy.
How did your family, friends, and coworkers react to when you announced that you were adopting? Were there, effects on your relationship?
Some people were it's funny because you have very mixed emotions from people. They were most of them were happy. Yeah. They were oh, that's really interesting, but can you do that all on your own? Because being all by yourself, it's a different story. If you have a partner, you can hand the baby, it's much different when you have 1 versus 2, but there's many single mothers out there today, even back in 1995 when I got Kennedy. Mm-hmm. And, most of them said, well, if there's anybody that can do it, you have the character and whatever, and the to be able to do that. So they were all very excited, and oh my God, when she came home, they were thrilled. And it's only as I adopted more further on down the line, then they all really started saying are you crazy? When I started, I want my 4th one. What? They're you know how much it's going to cost to raise a child and blah, 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 and whatever, and how much attention and how much work it is. And I was, I'll deal with that when I get there. So it's everybody was always very happy when they arrived and everything. And they were always supportive if we needed anything.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. That's really nice. Yeah. All right. So, in the specific case of raising a child of a different ethnicity, do you remember any specific moments that shocked you or that you weren't prepared for? And if so, could you elaborate upon them? Mm-hmm. Was there any racism? Was there any questioning?
Oh yeah, I still see racism today, and it's very interesting because there's a lot of people that will say things to them. Okay. And we're right near them, but they don't have an idea that we're their parents, right? Okay. So they'll talk to them in a very different way than they would talk to me. So then sometimes I would say, what did you say? And then they're well, basically they're taken back and they're well, what do you have to do with this? And I'm well, I'm her mother. What do you, even when we came home and we used to go to the Walmart and whatever, it would be, because I had a lot of children, I had, you know, like 4, like all under a very young age. It would draw a lot of attention. And it was like a lot of people would, like, from across the aisle in a store go like that to me, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I go, you're so rude and ignorant. Or, you know, some people would say, oh, where did you get them all? I'm like, you know, well, where do you think I got them? People are just so, you know, are they all biologically, you know, brother, sister? And I'm like, well, are yours? You know, I'm like, people ask really rude questions. But I found it was a lot more when they were younger for some reason. I don't know. Now that they're older, I don't get any of that. I don't know if it's because there's more kids that have been adopted now.
Exactly.
You know, but it's like, it's not an oddity like it was back, I found, in like the 90s.
Okay.
Because I think it was really new then.
Oh, okay. That's true.
And, you know, and it's like people were just like curious, but you know what
sometimes
I mean?
rude. Were you ever like nervous or scared, or like what were your feelings towards your children questioning about their birth parents and like where they come from or where they originated from?
No, I've never been scared.
You were kind of like just accepting of the fact.
I'm an open book with them with that when it came to that. If like I have binders, huge binders for each one of them of all of their journey that I went through, all of their paperwork, all of their special things, everything that I experienced. Each one of them has a huge book, and I've taken them out and they've taken them out because they think it's so cool. You know, and they all go through this stuff because as they get older, when they're young, they don't really pay attention to that. They don't care about stuff like that. It's like, it's only when they, you know, when they're 16 and then they look at that stuff and they're like, oh, they're like, what is that? What is that? And they, you know what I mean? They get a much clearer, they get a clearer vision into what I actually had to do. And you know what I mean? It wasn't just a flighty thing that I said, I'm going to adopt a kid and fly to China. And, you know, and whatever. It's, you know what I mean? Their whole life beginning that I had was in that book. You know, so very interesting for them, but I've been very open with them always. I said, you know, if there's 2 other people or 5 or 10, how many people, you know, that are your family in China somewhere, I'm like, the more the merrier for you. If that's what you want, then I'll try and help you. So I always put that out there. Like I always made it, you know, like I don't think it's going to be an easy thing. I said, because, you know, it's illegal to abandon your children, so I understand that they don't want to leave a lot of information for you to be able to find them later. So I said, I can do whatever I can do and I can help.
Another small question. Is there any reason why you chose like China instead of like adopting within the country of Canada? Or like, was there any reason for that or not really?
Well, for me, I had heard a lot about people that adopting here, let's say that, oh, well, the mother can change their mind and come back and get the child. And I don't think myself, I could not deal with falling in love with my child. You know, them being with me for a year and a half or whatever, and then somebody coming back after and saying, oh, you know, I changed my mind. And now you have to give the child back. There was not a lot of countries that were open for adoptions, and especially to single people. That's why I chose China, because they allowed singles. It was fairly quickly, like, you know, from the time I did my paperwork until I had Kennedy, it was 6 months. For my first one. It was really fast. I put my paperwork in, 4 weeks later I had a phone call. So I'm like, that was awesome. And then, you know, and then Madison was my second one, and she came like 18 months after we were home.